I'm here to actually do another 24-hour readathon, which is absolutely insane. I actually had a lot of fun, really thick and heavy. So excited to get this done. I don't really know how I feel about it because I just did a book haul. So happy with how this book is going. I'm not going to lie, the first like 50 pages. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this video. I did a 24-hour readathon, I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I am gonna do one again this time because I failed that one. I did the 12-hour per day, 2 days, 1 day, 12 hours, and I totally epically failed that challenge. So I'm gonna go back to my timer method. I start the timer when I'm reading, I stop the timer when I stop reading, and so that to me I feel like is the best way to start and do a 24-hour readathon. That's what I'm gonna do today, and I'm very excited, very happy because I have a lot of books that I'm currently reading, and I also am very excited to continue reading them. And I am also excited to continue reading the other books that are on my TBR because I feel like my September TBR is very solid. This month I feel like I can finish all of the books that are on my TBR. Let us talk about the few books that I'm in the middle of that I want to start reading. The first one I'm reading is on my Kindle. I don't know where my Kindle is. I'm reading, it's called Out of a Limb, I think, by Hannah something young, Bowman. Anyway, this is a Kindle Unlimited book, and I picked it up because Heather on YouTube said that it was a great book, and so I just picked it up because I thought that it would be a great read. And I'm currently still in the beginning chapters of this book. I don't remember how far I'm in, but I think less than 10%. And then I'm also reading 2 other physical books. I don't usually read that many books in one go, but this time around I don't know why I find myself in the middle of 3 books. But the other one I'm reading is Hothouse Flower by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Also have yet to go in too much with this book, only 6 pages. Still in the prologue, I think. And then I'm also in Mother of Death and Dawn by Carissa Broadbent. This is the last book in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy, and I am at page 30, chapter 4. And I am on and off reading this on the book and on my Kindle, and I want to continue reading Out on a Limb first because it's just an easier read to read on my Kindle, and then maybe I'll go into a fantasy. I really want to get this done, and then I'll do Hothouse Flower, but things might change. Currently, I do have a lot of work to do, so I don't really know when I'm gonna start reading because I need to quickly finish up a video, editing a video. I'm gonna try my best to quickly finish up work and then we can start this vlog. I am hoping that it will not take me a whole week to do this reading challenge, and I'm hoping that it will only take me 3 to 4 days this time. And I'm excited to get into all of the books that I am in the middle of right now. Let's get started with this video. At all today because I actually had a lot of fun reading the book that was on my Kindle, and I was reading Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonam, and I am done with the book. This book is, according to Kindle, 393 pages, and I am now at 19 hours on my timer. So it took me about 4 hours and 12 minutes to read this. I did read the 4 hours today kind of sporadically because I actually had a lot of work to do today, and to me at least, reading 4 hours today was pretty amazing. I aimed for 3 hours because once again I was very busy. I have to edit and export a video, and I'm currently exporting the video right now. I just edited my thumbnail. I had more work things to do, so I didn't really have a lot of reading time, but I'm so happy that I actually finished a book and the book was actually great. I didn't explain what Out on a Limb is about. In this book, we actually follow a disabled young woman who's called Win. She has a disability where her right arm is shorter than her left arm. She has a best friend called Sarah, whose husband is called Caleb, and the couple hosts a Halloween party every year, and she goes to the Halloween party, ends up meeting another disabled young man called Bo. Bo has a prosthetic left leg, and they kind of bond through that. They banter, their chemistry is off the charts, and they sleep together. This is actually where the plot happens because this book is mainly about the pregnancy trope. I read the little author's note in the beginning of this book and I felt like that author's note really signified a lot of the things that went on in this book, and I felt like it really made sense for her to write this book. I loved the story between Win and Bo. I loved their chemistry. I loved their connection together. I feel like the both of them are just very sweet, very loving, and I especially loved Bo as a person. He is super shy but also really respectful, and he doesn't make any women uncomfortable. I had such a fun time reading this. I liked reading about her thoughts during her pregnancy, her thoughts of abortion. It's just very realistic in that sense. So I had fun with this book despite it being a pregnancy trope. I'm gonna set my rating. I don't really know what I want to give it yet. I might not read anymore today, but just in case I do a little bit of reading before I go to sleep, I will update you guys on the time tomorrow. I will be reading Mother of Death and Dawn if I do end up picking up a book because I do want to get into a fantasy and I want to read this book. I am desperately wanting to read this book and wanting to finish the whole trilogy. I'm excited for that. That is it for today's update. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Morning. It's actually not in the morning, it's the afternoon currently. I went out in the morning to walk my dog and then I read Mother of Death and Dawn by Carissa Broadbent. I interchange between reading on my Kindle and on the book because this book is really thick and heavy. So when I went out, I read on my Kindle, so this book is on Kindle Unlimited, and right now I am at page 158. My timer is currently on 18 hours and 9 minutes. I am currently really loving Mother of Death and Dawn. Obviously, I love the whole trilogy. I rated both the first book and the second book 4 stars. And if you guys don't know what this trilogy is about, the summary of the first book is basically that you follow a slave who is called Tisana. She is enslaved, but she recently had money to buy herself out of slavery. But something happens and she ends up killing the person who owns her. And so she escapes and goes to the orders. But in order to enter the orders, she needs to enter an apprenticeship, but the only one who's available to teach her is a guy called Max, who doesn't want to teach her, who doesn't like the orders in general. And then they go on this journey and it's really, really fun. What I really, really like so far is that we get 3 point of views. We get Tisana's POV, we get Max's POV, and we get this mystery POV that I don't want to talk about because obviously it's going to ruin the whole trilogy. You get opposing views because they are technically in opposing teams. They're out to get each other, and it's really fun to see it because when you're in Tisana's point of view, you root for her team, and then when you're in this mystery person's POV, you root for their team. I've never read a book like this before, and I really, really like the interchanging POVs in this because I feel like their actions and their thoughts are very much justified. I have a lot of time today to read, so I'll probably spend a lot of time reading today. I'm hoping I can get at least 8 hours today. Yeah, gotta continue reading and I will update you guys when I've gotten a significant amount through this book. Reading update of Mother of Death and Dawn. I am now at page 446, chapter 72, and time-wise, I have 14 hours and 45 minutes left on the clock. It is currently 9 p.m. so I have probably only 2 hours left for reading because I need to wake up really early tomorrow. I have a pretty busy morning and afternoon, but my whole evening is empty, so I can use that time for reading. I am basically more than halfway through this book, and I am so happy with how this book is going, and I really like what I'm reading so far. At least this is probably my favorite book out of the trilogy. I just like how all of the puzzle pieces are coming together. I love the war and the politics of this. I think it's really fun. I also think the romance in here is finally getting interesting. I do, however, feel like if you're gonna read this for the romance, it's not really worth it because it's not a lot and you get literal crumbs, but at least for me it's worth all of the pining and the tension that I get in the first two books. But if you guys like fantasy worlds, you guys like character development, really amazing world building, and such a unique plot line, you'll enjoy this trilogy for sure. I love it so much. It's such a thick book, but I'm actually flying through the book. Timing wise, I think I'm pretty good, and I'm aiming to read at least 2 more hours before I go to bed, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's get to reading because I'm actually excited to get this done. I am now at 12 hours and 15 minutes left. I am still on Mother of Death and Dawn. I've actually been reading on the Kindle, so I don't entirely know where I am in the physical book. I was out just now, so I was reading on the Kindle because of that. Page 593, which means I have around 100 pages left to the end. I'm gonna push through this and then we'll pick another book because I just did a book haul and I'm so excited for some of the books that are on my book haul, and I feel like I want to pick them up first rather than pick up Hothouse Flower because I am a lot more excited about those books than Hothouse Flower. Not that I don't like Hothouse Flower, but I read Kiss the Sky and that book was so good that I am terrified of going into Hothouse Flower. What if it doesn't live up to the hype? But yeah, I'm gonna quickly get this done. The plot is very interesting. I love Carissa Broadbent's writing. I honestly do. I think she's one of my favorite fantasy authors, and I'll probably read anything she writes at this point. I love her. She is solidified as one of my favorite fantasy authors, 100%. So pumped to get this done. I would love to know what's gonna happen. I can't envision a happy ending at this point, but I know it's gonna be a happy ending. I just don't know how it's gonna happen. I'm done with Mother of Death and Dawn by Carissa Broadbent. I completely finished reading this book. I'm going to pick up another book because I am in the mood to read. I would pick up Hothouse Flower, but I'm actually in the mood to read something else. Let's head over to my TBR cart. I recently did a book haul. These are all the packages. So I have a lot of new books in my cart. Even though I'm tempted to pick up a new book, I think I'm going to pick up The Bodyguard by Katherine. This is not in my newest book haul, but it is in my birthday book haul, I think. So I want to read this. I think it's a pretty short book, probably only 300-ish pages. So I think it'll be a pretty fast read, I think. Right now, my timer is at 12 hours. So I'm gonna read The Bodyguard. I've heard great things about this book, and let's get to reading this. Quick update of The Bodyguard by Katherine. I have reached page 102. This is chapter 11, and so far I am enjoying the book. I love the writing. It's really easy to read. I'm flying through the pages. Currently, time-wise, I am at 10 hours and 23 minutes. Can you see that? I didn't read a lot today, but I'm hoping to read more tonight. So I'm gonna continue reading this. So far, I'm having a good impression on the book and the writing and the plot. I love the plot. I love the fake dating trope so much. So I'm having a lot of fun. If you guys don't know what this is about, basically you follow our FMC Hannah. She is a bodyguard, an executive. protection agent, something along the lines of that, and she is sent to protect an actor called Jack Stapleton. Their current location is Houston, Texas, and Jack has a stalker currently on the loose in that city, and so she's sent over to protect him from that. But he's actually there because his mom got sick, and so he needs to make sure that his mom doesn't worry about the stalker, and so she ends up pretending to be his girlfriend, and it's really, really fun. I'll update you guys later in the day. Reading update. I am now at 9 hours and 10 minutes left on the clock. I've yet to read a lot today, unfortunately, but as for my book, I'm reading The Bodyguard. I'm at chapter 21. This is page 186. I'm aiming to get this done today, and that's about it. It should take me less than 2 hours to get this done, and I did not read a lot today. I started this morning at 13 hours, and now it's only 9 hours left, so I've only read for 4 hours today, but I'm going to quickly get this finished off. I love the writing. It's really, really funny. Some parts of this really makes me crack up. I'm smiling every time I'm reading about our FMC and MMC together. I love Jack so much. He is a soft boy top to bottom, and I love his character and personality. Banter is amazing. I am so excited to get this done. I want to see what's gonna happen. The slow burn is intense. Such a fast and easy read, and I'm so happy about this book. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm done with reading The Bodyguard by Katherine, and the timer currently is on 7 hours and 56 minutes. It is such a cute rom-com, and I definitely had an enjoyable time reading the book. What I really liked about this book specifically is that when you read a rom-com and you get to the point where the main characters get together, sometimes after that it gets a bit boring, but this one was really exciting, and the plot twist at the end, not plot twist I guess, but the climax at the end was truly surprising. It was a great ending, and I liked how it ended, and I liked how their relationship blossomed. It was just very natural and very genuine. I don't know what rating I'm going to give this book. Once again, I'm gonna sit on it for a bit. Definitely above 4 stars. Why is me awake? But yeah, those are my thoughts on The Bodyguard, and I'm going to pick up a new book now. I am in the middle of Hothouse Flower. What are you doing? Nothing to dig. This is not the soil. I'm gonna pick up Hothouse Flower next for this challenge. Guys, time check. I am at 5 hours and 17 minutes. I think I started the day off with 6 hours and 50 something minutes, and I am still on Hothouse Flower, obviously. I am now at page 204. So far, my thoughts about this book. I am liking Daisy and Ryke's relationship, so I don't really know how I feel about it, because Ryke knew Daisy when she was 15, and now that she's 18, he's finally making their relationship a thing. But at the same time, Ryke's personality and character towards Daisy when she was still young wasn't predatory at all, but I can understand why some people were thrown off by their relationship. I don't feel that strongly with this book compared to Kiss Sky, but I do like their relationship more than Lily and Lowe's. I might be biased though, because I really do like Rose and Connor. I feel like the both of them are my favorite pairing in the Addicted series. So yeah, I'm gonna continue Hothouse Flower. I need to go to golf in 30 minutes, so we'll just try to make the most out of our reading today. I also don't really know how much I can read tonight. I wanted to get this challenge done today, but it might be done tomorrow morning instead. That's the update. I'll let you guys know when I have more updates about hothouse flower. So since the last update, I barely did anything. I've only gotten through a little bit of the timer, about 4 hours and 47 minutes. I'm now at chapter 31. This is page 246. I haven't read a lot. I just have been doing other things, so I am going to start reading now. That said, I will focus on finishing off Hothouse Flower, and I'll let you guys know when I'm actually done with the book. I finished Hothouse Flower. I read up until 3 hours left on the timer yesterday, and then I read a bit more this morning, so now I have 1 hour and 30 minutes on the clock, which means I'm gonna pick up a new book because I still have 1 hour and 30 minutes left on the timer. I want to get something that's on my TBR, on my September TBR, so I am going to go to my cart and pick something up real quick. So I was thinking of Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik because I've had this for a while, first, and second, it's a fantasy standalone, so I think it's pretty easy to get into. Third, I am going to go traveling tomorrow. I'm going out of town for a bit. I thought it would be easier to bring a book that is a standalone, and I currently don't really want to read any romance books because I have read 3 romance books in this video. I kind of want a fantasy, so we're gonna pick up Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. As for my thoughts on Hothouse Flower, I definitely liked it more than Lily and Lo's story. In general, I feel like the Calloway Sisters series is a lot more superior than the original Addicted series, but I think that I liked Rose and Connor's story a bit more. I think in general, character-wise, I like Rose and Connor more. Daisy and Reich's story is also still very swoon-worthy, still very lovely to read about, and also still has a lot of pain involved in their growth. I think I'll give Hothouse Flower like a 4.5 or a 4-star. I'm gonna hang on to my rating for a bit. I need to like actually think about what rating I want to give this book. I liked how all the addicted couples have really good communication skills and there's no miscommunication whatsoever. The conflicts are big, but they're resolved very nicely, and I like that there's always a solution to the problem that they have, and there's a lot of growth individually between the 2 characters. Anyway, I'm gonna quickly finish off my 1 hour and 30 minutes. I want to get this done before lunch. Let's get to Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I don't usually film like this, but this is actually pretty comfortable. Why didn't I think of ever filming on my bed? Anyway, I am done with the timer and I'm still on Spinning Silver. I am now at chapter 8. This is page 97. I didn't explain what Spinning Silver is about, by the way. I totally forgot to do that, but essentially this follows 3 different women in the same timeline. We have Miriam, who is kind of, I think, the main character. Her dad is the moneylender of the town, and he lends items or money to the people of his town. You know how loan sharks work? It's supposed to work that way, but his dad is too nice, and so they don't end up getting anything back. And so Miriam ends up stepping up to be the moneylender. So from poverty, she became a rich household because of that. And then we follow our second character, who is called Wanda, and she's also in poverty. She has an abusive dad, and her mother passed away, and she also has 2 little brothers. And Wanda's family owes Miriam money, so she ends up having to work in Miriam's household to pay off her father's debt. Along the way, you get to meet another character called Irina, but her story and how she connects with the other 2 characters, you'll have to read in the story to really get a sense of it. I'm not going to lie, the first like 50 pages were really hard to get into, and also you switch POVs in this, but they don't tell you whose POV you're in, and it's in first person, so sometimes it gets a little bit confusing, but when you get the hang of it, you'll get the hang of it. So far, at least, it's getting interesting. We're getting into the main crux of the plot, which is that when Miriam's family went from poverty to rich, there's this rumor that goes around that she can spin silver into gold. The Hysterics, which is the fairy king of the winter, something like that. When he hears wind of this person who can spin silver into gold, gives her a challenge to do, but if she doesn't do it, she will lose her life, and if she succeeds in doing it, she'll get something she doesn't want in her life. Two very bad outcomes, but she has to do it in order to live. And I really liked seeing very diverse characters in this. I'm gonna continue reading this. I'm so far enjoying it. I'm gonna quickly talk about the books that I read in this readathon, from the first book that I read until the last book that I read. And the first one I read is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This one I read on my Kindle, on Kindle Unlimited, and I decided to rate this 3.5 stars, mainly because even though I had a really good time reading this book and it was a very enjoyable and easy read, I feel like throughout the whole week I didn't really think about this book too much. It gave me really good and positive emotions, but it wasn't 4 stars. I just felt like it didn't hit me like a 4-star book would hit me, and so I decided to give this book 3.5. I still will recommend it to people, and I still feel like it's worth the read. The second book that I read in this vlog is Mother of Death and Dawn by Krista Broadbent. I think this is the last book in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy, and I read the first 2 books, Daughter of No Worlds and Children of Fallen Gods, last month in August. I have reading vlogs for both of them, so I will try to link them downstairs in the description box, or I'll try to put them in the cards. It didn't leave any stones unturned, and I feel like it just wrapped everything really perfectly. It was such a good ending book. The climax was great, brilliant. Plot twist was amazing. The little plot holes that came up in the first and second book was really truly covered in this book, and I really liked that. I really liked how this ended, and the ending even made me tear up, which is great. So I decided to give this 4.5 because it was definitely better than the first 2 books, which I rated 4 stars for both. It's definitely a fantasy book, a fantasy series that I can envision going back to and rereading. So yeah, I'm gonna give this 4.5, and I'm really happy that I liked the series. This kind of solidified my love for Carissa Broadbent. I feel like she's probably one of the most favorite authors of mine, so I definitely 100% enjoyed this book. I read another great book. I read The Bodyguard by Katherine. This was also such a good and easy and funny read, and I really liked the main characters in this. I loved Jack. He's just this little soft boy, and I had so much fun reading about him. I had a lot of fun, and I decided to give this also 4 stars. It didn't hit me like a 5-star would, but it's still such a good book. And as for Hothouse Flower, which I finished reading this morning, I want to give this 4.5 too. Yeah, I'm gonna give this 4.5. It's not a 5-star because Kiss the Sky is just so much more superior than this, but I really had fun with Raisy's story, and I also really liked the character growth both Daisy and Reich had. And the last book that I read, which is Spinning Silver, I have yet to finish, so we're not going to read this obviously, but 100 pages in, and I'm very happy with my progress. And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this 24-hour readathon. I feel like this time round I definitely succeeded. It took only 4 days for me to get this done, so I'm very happy with that. And I'm so happy with all the books that I read in this vlog because it was all so good, top notch. I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!